Hi, my name is Caleb Turner. This is my Milestone 1 review video for my task. All right, task 1 is player avatar. As the player, I want to have a game object to represent the playable character. Uh, a completion criteria, create a game object to hold the place of the playable character. Start it up. This is the object right here. Number 2 is player avatar movement. As the player, I want to be able to move around the level when the x-axis using input. Completion criteria. The player can walk using input, moving left and right. You can move left, move right. Player avatar jump. As the player, I want to be able to jump via input to reach areas of the level that are above the player. The completion criteria: 1, uh, the, the character is affected by gravity and falls to the ground. So you jump up and he falls back to the. Number 2, the player cannot double jump. So you jump, and you can only jump one time until you land back down. Number 3, the player can jump again after landing back on the ground, which, as you see, you can only jump until once you hit the ground again. And jumps only 3 units. That's a measurements. Okay. Camera follow. As the player, I want to have a camera that follows the player so that the player can see the game world as they move around the level. A completion criteria: 1, the camera moves will hit the player through the level. So as you can see, it follows the player as they go. Okay. Player avatar rotate. As the player, I want to rotate to point and move in the direction that the character is moving. Completion criteria: 1, the player can use input to turn the player avatar left or right. So when you move left, he looks left. When you move right, he looks right. So you can shoot in those 2 directions. Player avatar crouch. As the player, I want to be able to squat down and shoot things that are lower than the player's standing height. The player should be able to crouch using the S key, then stand back up using either jump or W keys. Crouching will stop all movements except for turning, and you can still shoot. Completion criteria: the player avatar crouches on input. S key. So crouch is S. Stand back up with the W key, or you can crouch, stand back up with jump, and you can. There you go. Okay, the next one. Morph ball avatar. As the player, I want to be able to roll around the level to traverse through tubes and small openings in the level. The morph ball will be triggered when the player is in the crouch state and then presses the C key, changing the player into the morph ball, staying in this state until they press the X key. Completion criteria number one. The player can use the input to change into the morph ball. So you squat down and then you press the C button and you're the morph ball. Then completion criteria number two, the player can change back to like the player avatar. You press the X key, you go back to the player avatar, and your movement is back to normal. There you go. And finally, player avatar sprint. As the player, I want to run faster to get away from hazards in the level. Completion criteria. Number one, the player can sprint using input. So the shift key, he moves faster. And you can sprint in any direction like that. Okay. And completion criteria number two, the player avatar stops sprinting when the sprint button is released. So as you're sprinting, you hold it down, then you let it go, and it goes back to normal speed like that. All right, thank you for watching. This has been my review